Welcome back to Good Day. School just started, but we're sure there are kids looking forward to graduation.
Already?
Already.
Well, one of Toledo's most famous high school graduates is Jamie Farr. He and thousands of other Woodward High School grads are celebrating the school's 100th anniversary this year.
It's a big deal. Woodward Principal Jack Renz is here with Chairperson and Woodward Class of 1968 grad Tony Heidelberg-Gerber with an invitation for all polar bears, past and present. Look at what we got this morning. Yeah. Beautiful banner here, the polar bear. He's looking a little scary.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
You know what? I do appreciate the mascot.
Yes.
So unique, really cool.
It is unique.
Yeah.
At one point in time, it was one of the only high schools that had the mascot, and obviously Ohio Northern. Yeah, you know, they took it as a polar bear as well, but we've got a couple more. You always got to be first.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. So this is really exciting. 100 years. Talk about how you all will be celebrating this.
Doing it?
Well, it's 100 plus years because Woodward evolved at different stages. Actually started in 1913, 1917. It became the name of Woodward.
Woodward Technical High School. Okay. And actually, the location was at where the central,
the main
library of
downtown.
In downtown, right?
Oh, wow.
That was a lot of history there.
Yeah. So it transitioned from a couple of 7th and 8th grade graduation classes that were studying skills and technologies. Kelvin M. Woodward was an industrialist. By 1919, you know, you had already had Scott and Waite had been built and already been moved. They had moved students over. He has a picture of the old building, the old high school, and they wanted to continue. So that the plan between 1919 and 1929 was to build the Woodward High School on Stryker, which was by Wilson Park. So we knew that we had graduating classes, you know, as early as 1919. So you had a senior class.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
All right.
You know, I've run into many people who graduated from Scott, and I don't know if you've ever heard once a bulldog, always a bulldog. Right. So tell us, what makes the polar bear so unique?
You know, I wasn't a Woodward graduate, but both my parents went to Woodward. You know, my dad lived on Mulberry Street, my mom lived on Ashwood, North Toledo, and you know, I don't want to speak for Tony, but it, you know, has a fiber and a culture all of its own. There's a great deal of a melting pot of cultures that generated through Woodward High School. And, you know, if you were genuinely a working family that lived in North Toledo, that's where you were. And I think it's continued that way. What's so unique about that you know, that fiber is that it's still in the students today in North Toledo, you know, which is great. And that's really what it is about. It's a very close-knit community. It always has been.
Yeah. Tony, years later, you know, celebrating this milestone, how special is this for you?
This is very special for me. My parents both met at Woodward High School, fell in love, and that was true of the case. Most of my friends' parents had gone to Woodward also, exactly as Jack is saying it. So it was inside of us. It was a part of our family, a part of our culture, a part of our pride. And what I loved so much about Woodward was the diversity and the acceptance of other people during our time, because it was a very rough time in history.
Sure.
Martin Luther King was killed during that time. I always say Sam Cooke was. I loved Motown music. So it was a tough time, but it wasn't the case at Woodward. We were all friends, and we'd like them all to come back for this special celebration.
Yeah, sounds like
inviting everybody back.
A lot of pride, and something that you all are proud about. We'll get a shot of this. So this is a piece of history here. So tell us about this yearbook, and who do we have in here?
So this is the class of 1952, senior class, graduating class, the Sega, the yearbook. Jamie Farr, Jamil Farah,
That's what it says in there, right?
Was the president of the senior class, and you know, truth be known, my father was the vice president of the graduating class, Jack W. Renz. And the two of them became very close friends. As a matter of fact, Jamil and Joy have, you know, bought several tickets to the event. They're supporting the event. So he sees the recognition, was very, very proud of his school. We've had a lot of talent come through Woodward High School, including Jamil. We had George and Andy Fennedy. They were producers, if you remember Emergency 51 and Adam 12. They were producers out in California as well. You know, Danny Thomas Thomas.
Yeah.
You know, many others. We've had graduates that worked on the Manhattan Project, you know, for the atomic bomb. We've had graduates that the trainer for the 4-year run from the New England Patriots is a Woodward graduate.
Wow.
The head trainer for the Patriots. So he's got as many rings as Tom Brady. It's amazing, really. You know, Brian Robinson, who played for the Chicago Bears, Dick Drago, you know, Major League Baseball player. You know, it's
the list just goes on and on.
Lots of talent coming.
And we have to say this is signed. This yearbook, we didn't get a clear shot of it, I don't believe, but this is signed by Jamie Farr, which is really cool. So some nice history you were able to bring for us. So tell us, for those Woodward grads who want to celebrate 100+ years, how can they do so?
That's what we really want to. It's been difficult because if you just have a class reunion, you know the people and you can send out invitations. When you're talking about decades and decades and decades.
That's tricky.
It's tricky, and so it's very important, and we're very thankful that you're letting us or helping us to get the word out to people. They can get a hold of us at woodwardhigh100@gmail.com. Or they can call the school.
419-671-6000. Call the high school. We can connect you with a way to make reservations for October the 21st. Doors open at 5:15. It's the Glass City Center downtown, the old Seagate Center.
Yeah.
In the newly remodeled
Yeah, it's a great
ballroom.
spot.
It's really going to be exciting, and we're glad to bring all those decades of Woodward High School back together.
And one thing I want to impress upon, we put a deadline in there because we had to. But we want everybody that wants to come to be there, so they can ignore that.
I think Monday deadline. I think September 11th, that would be coming up.
We want them to come. If they want to be there, we definitely want them to come. And we've got people coming from all over. We've got, well, a lot of Michigan and Ohio people, but we've got people from Virginia, Florida, New York,
Las Vegas.
Nevada, California, Texas, Minnesota, Washington.
Oh, nice.
Illinois, we've got people, Minnesota, I don't want to forget Minnesota.
Don't forget that, you know, and you want to make sure that you take this opportunity, maybe see some folks you haven't seen in a long time, share some really wonderful memories, and celebrate this huge milestone, because it is a really big milestone. So, again, get in touch with the school. Call the school.
Please.
Call the high school directly.
You know, and then make sure you put it on your calendar for October 21st to be in downtown Toledo.
Awesome.
Folks, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
And we want to thank you for joining us. We'll have more Good Day in just a moment.